time now for Gunther Volkswagen, 7 on the Sidelines.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to 7 on the Sidelines. This is our Dolphins post-game show, and Dolphins fans, a heartbreaker. The field goal as time expired by the Falcons. It is now a 1-6 start for your Miami Dolphins this season. It is time now to bring in our insider, and that is Drew Rosenhaus. And Drew, we're watching the Dolphins literally walk into the locker room right now. Just, they look defeated.
Really down. I'm watching Emmanuel Agba, who, well, brutal to lose 2 games in a row on last-second field goals, walk-off field goals. You know, I feel for this team. And played their heart out today.
They were in it late. We saw Agba with the strip set. Xavier Howard had the interception,
Yes.
but it was Tua with the 2 picks.
We were watching the game together. The picks were the difference. Tua, he did a lot of good things. He threw the football, made completions, he ran well, but the turnovers are inexcusable, and they were silly turnovers, especially after Xavier Howard makes a huge interception. The team has momentum, great field position, and then he tosses a pick right to a guy. Big return. That was the difference in the game.
They're saying that Tua is not the guy. Do you believe that Tua is still the quarterback of this team?
He's a young quarterback. He obviously has a lot of talent, but the Dolphins are not winning with him at the helm. Are they going to be patient and stay with him and give him a chance to develop? Or are they going to go for broke and acquire a franchise quarterback like Deshaun Watson? That's literally the biggest question this franchise has to decide. Is this a rebuilding football team, or are they going to try to add a quarterback to get them back to the team they were last year where they had 10 wins?
All right, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But for everybody at home, in case you missed the game, let's get you caught back up. We're going to pick this up in the first quarter of this one. And this is how it started for your Miami Dolphins. It was actually a really good start with Tua connecting with Isaiah Ford on the 10-yard touchdown. That put him up early. Now they're up in the second quarter. Matt Ryan to former Monarch High star. That is Calvin Ridley. Dolphins trailing 10-3. Then less than a minute to go in the half. Fins driving in the red zone again. Talked about the interception. Tua throwing the first one to Jalen Hawkins. Atlanta is now back on the ball. Matt Ryan going deep to former Gator Kyle Pitts, and he had an incredible 36-yard catch. What a game for him. They'd get a field goal out of it and lead 13-7 at the half. Second half action, third quarter, Miami down 20-7. Fins in the red zone. Tua to Mike Gesicki. What a catch in double coverage. Dolphins now trail it 20-14. Same score in the fourth. Falcons ball. Matt Ryan. There's the Xavier Howard interception that we talked about, taking the ball away from Ridley. But here it is, the very next play. Tua back to pass under pressure. It gets picked off, goes 56 yards to the 14-yard line. Falcons would get a touchdown in their ensuing drive. Fins now down 27-14. That is the play that really changed this game. And then as we fast forward again, Miami back in the red zone. It is Tua to one of Drew's client, that is Myles Gaskin. Great job breaking the tackle. It is back to a 1-possession game. 2 minutes to go. Fins marching down the field. Tua finding Mac Hollins on the slant in the back of the end zone. They're on top 28-27, but too much time is left. And Young Hoku, he is a Pro Bowl kicker for a reason as time expires. It is now 3-3 for the Falcons. Unfortunately, the Dolphins falling to 1-6, Drew, and we are waiting head coach Brian Flores at the podium, but you mentioned 2 heartbreakers for this team. We talked about the locker room being down. What needs to change so they can end up on the right side of things? For me, they're making so many mistakes and they're beating themselves.
So 1-6 is a massive disappointment for a team that won 10 games last year, just missed the playoffs. So much optimism, no one envisioned. People thought they might lose 6 games the entire season, not in 7 games. So this is stunning. Everybody in the organization has got to be in a state of shock. What has to improve? Turnovers. The Dolphins are losing the turnover battle. Last year they had a cornerback who led the league in interceptions. This year they're leading the league in turning the ball over, it seems. And the offensive line. Oh man, they keep shooting themselves in the foot. So many penalties. You know, there's not really that dominating run blocking that you see. Guys are getting hit in the backfield. The quarterback's under constant pressure. I think that the offensive line obviously is just young. They're trying to get it going. There's a lot of young players, Liam Eichenberg, Robert Hunt, Austin Jackson playing a new position. They had a new center, Austin Ryder, today. I think they've had 3 centers already. That's tough. What this team's got going for them is a young star in Jalen Waddle. and a dynamite tight end in Mike Gesicki, and an up-and-coming quarterback. That just hasn't been enough. By the way, I thought the defense did a yeoman job. They did a solid job. Take your hat off to Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan should be in a Dolphin uniform. The Dolphins all those years ago took Jake Long, who's been out of the league for 3 or 4 years, and Matt Ryan's still one of the best in the game. What a difference.
Of course, won an MVP as well.
Brutal.
Do you need to change personnel if you're the Dolphins? I'm talking specifically with the players. Do you have enough in that locker room right now?
Well, right now they have to continue to add players, obviously. Look at Kyle Pitts today. I mean, he was a game-changing player for the Falcons. The Dolphins don't have a guy like that on their team. Pitts was just a difference maker. He was brilliant. He made one great play after another and essentially was the difference in the game for the Falcons. On the other hand, the Dolphins defense, they were solid today against an explosive offense. They could have won the game, especially with all the turnovers.
Right.
But these are games the Dolphins have to win. They let the game get away from them against a team in Jacksonville that they've got more talent. You got to win at home against a team like Atlanta.
No.
Atlanta didn't have a winning record coming in here, right? Now they're just 500. They had the Colts. The Colts had one win
at the time
on the season. Had them at home. These are games you have to win. This is why they're a 1-6 football team. They're not winning the games that they need to. So what has to change? Go get Deshaun Watson. Do what it takes. This guy he obviously wants out. He's been clear that he wants to be here. The trade deadline is in about a week. Go get this guy. This franchise needs him.
There we go. Trade deadline is November 2nd. We've got head coach Brian Flores stepping to the podium momentarily. We're going to take our first break here on 7 on the Sidelines. We've got more on Drew coming up. Stay with us. On the sidelines, we remain in the tunnel waiting for head coach Brian Flores alongside Drew Rosenhaus. We're talking about this heartbreaking loss, but bigger than this game are the Deshaun Watson rumors. You've been saying that you thought the quarterback would be coming here for months now. The latest from multiple reports, it's 3 first-round picks plus additional picks. November 2nd deadline, a week away roughly. A percentage on how likely this deal will get done before the deadline?
Well, number one, the Texans aren't going to get 3 first-round picks. We're not even sure when Deshaun Watson can play or what his availability is. They can get 1 first pick and maybe some conditional picks. I think it's a pretty good likelihood. I know he's going to be traded, and he's going to be traded in the next week. Now, whether it's the Dolphins, whether it's the Eagles, whether it's the Panthers, but the Texans are going to have to take the best offer that they can. I still think it's better than even money that the Miami Dolphins land Watson. It's just, I mean, hey, at 1-6, this is the one thing that can salvage this franchise is landing a franchise quarterback, and he's there for the taking.
Are the Dolphins the front runner in your eyes to land Watson?
Yes.
Why?
I believe that they have wanted him more than any other team. They maybe have the greatest need, and the season hasn't gone very well. But, hey, you got teams like the Panthers at 3-4 that have lost 4 games in a row, but they traded for Darnold and benched him. Right. Man, a lot is on the line for the Dolphins right now. Do what it takes to land this guy. I'm sure the organization's trying. They probably don't want to mortgage the future, but at the end of the day, I think they've got to step up and find a way to consummate this deal.
Tua, 2 interceptions today. Does that hurt his trade value now? What do they do with him? And do they include him in part of the deal? Or do they keep Tua too?
I think if they can include him, it makes a lot of sense. If not, you hang on to him until you have a market for him. Tua had an opportunity these last couple games against the Jaguars and against Atlanta to come out and play winning football and carry this team. And he did a decent job, but didn't do enough to win against 2 teams that were, losing football teams. So that doesn't help his cause. But let's just give him a little bit of credit. He did make some plays. He is a young player. I don't think you can be too harsh on the guy.
What do you think his trade value is if someone were to go get him? I heard a 2nd-round pick from Washington.
I think that's reasonable. He was a top 5 pick. He was a 1st-round pick, and he's the kind of guy that still has a lot of upside if you're patient enough to wait. Now, whether or not a team will wait like the Dolphins, man, with high expectations, with playoff expectations, when you have a guy that's a sure thing and a Deshaun Watson who's an MVP caliber player, who's healthy right now. I know he's got legal problems, but I'm fairly certain, just based on history, that he's going to find his way back to the field. This isn't a forever situation.
Got to interrupt you very quickly. We've got Javon Holland stepping to the podium, had that big play, and safety roll. Let's take a listen in.
It happens, but we needed to capitalize on that, and so we're back to the drawing board, and be better next week.
It looked like on that one pass to Pitts at the end there on the sideline, you and X were all over him. You took a good shot at him. He still held on. What can you say about how tough this guy is and how hard it is to separate him from the ball?
Yeah, Kyle's a hell of a player. That's one of my good friends. He's he's a ball player. You saw that out there. He's a tough guy, grit. You saw that in college. So, NFL is the best of the best. That's why he's out there. He's playing. So, yeah.
Second straight week losing at the end of the game on a field goal. Is that demoralizing to the locker room? Is that like extra added pressure on you guys?
It's tough, man. It's tough. We're right there. You're close, and then field goal to separate it. But yeah, it's tough. But we got to stick together as a team. Come back ready next week. We're grown, so we got to make grown man decisions. So, yeah.
When you guys take the lead, you know that Matt Ryan has time, and like you just mentioned about Kyle, and he's going to be looking for Kyle a lot. Just to elaborate more of what is it? Did you foresee this kind of success he would have in this league? I know he came in as very, very highly rated, and what actually makes him so difficult as a cover?
I'd say Kyle's he's a big athletic tight end. So it adds a mismatch to the smaller corners, or not necessarily smaller corners. He's just what he's like 6'5", like 248. He's a big guy. So with athletic ability, and he can go up and get the ball. And pair that with Matt Ryan, who is a really good, really great quarterback. It's a dangerous combination. So you saw that out there, and that's a great team. That's a good team. They went out there, they capitalized on the opportunities that they had, and they came out with a dub. So that's what it is. Game of inches. That's what football is. So.
Javon, can you walk us through the hit you put on Calvin Ridley to draw the ball loose?
Yeah. So our coach just works on a thing called one shot to find angle. Anytime there's a post or anything like that, or a now route, you got one opportunity to make the tackle. If not, they can score a touchdown, whatnot, get a first down. So I just went through my keys like we do every day, and executed what our coach taught me in practice. So that's basically what it is.
Thanks, Javon.
Cool. Y'all have a good night.
That was Javon Holland. We bring back in Drew Rosenhaus, and one of your clients, Jerome Baker, defensive captain, exiting with a knee injury. What's the latest on him?
Jerome is getting an MRI this afternoon. We're hoping for the best. I've talked to the team. The initial prognosis doesn't appear to be very serious, so we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we hope that it's nothing significant, because Jerome is the heart and soul of the defense and certainly one of the best players on the team.
All right. Head coach Brian Flores just stepping to the podium. Let's take a listen in live. Thanks, Drew.
We didn't do a good enough job. They made some plays, threw it to Pitts on, the over out and the 9-ball. Weren't able to stop them there at the end. Try to force a field goal earlier and get the ball back. We just didn't play. We probably had our didn't do enough. Especially when we got to have it. We got to have our best. We got to play our best. We didn't do that.
Brian, what makes Pitts such a tough cover for anybody?
He's big. He's fast. He's got good hands. He's a good player.
How do you assess the performance by Tua today?
I thought, bringing us back, in the fourth quarter, putting 2 drives together to give us a lead. That's what you're looking for in a quarterback. So, from that standpoint, he put us in position to win the game, which is at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for from the quarterback. Obviously, some plays he wishes he had back, but overall, I thought he did a lot of good things.
Just to kind of try and create some energy or a spark, and it seemed like that worked. Just kind of, you talk about the resilience of this group, but kind of shined in that moment, in that drive.
Yeah, resilient. That's definitely a word I would use for the group. But we're just we're on the like I said all week, it's a slim margin for error. We're on the wrong side of that for a lot of reasons, you know, starts with me, obviously. But, you know, we're on the wrong side of that margin. And we we'll continue to talk. We'll continue to talk about it. But at the end of the day, we gotta produce more on the field. And, you know, I would say we've had some opportunities. We had some today. We didn't take advantage.
What is the message to the team? What can be the message to the team, considering the position that the team is in at 1-6?
Yeah, I mean, the message is the margin for error is slim in this league. And, you know, we need to eliminate, you know, some things that we're doing, you know, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, run game, run defense, pass defense, field goal block, that are the difference between, you know, 3 points, 7 points, no points. That's the message. They know it, they understand it. When those situations arise, you know, our opponents are taking more advantage of those situations than we are. And we know it, we understand it, and we're just not doing enough, really, in any phase. Or, you know, I shouldn't say that. We do some good things in one phase, and then, you know, we're just not putting it together. And I think the end of the game is a perfect example of that. Offense goes down, scores, gives us an opportunity, and then, you know, turn around defensively. We can play the complementary football we need to close the game out. And that's the difference. And I think there's some instances where we did stop them, and then we did get the ball back, and then it just we didn't, not enough.
Brian, we've heard you speak about liking the system that you guys have in place, but at 1-6, where is the line between staying the course and things needing to change?
I think the line is that the margin for error we're talking about. Are the things we're doing enough to get us on the right side of that margin? You know, do we understand those situations? Do we understand, you know, without getting into specifics, hey, if we make this play, and this play, the game's different. Whether or not we understand those things, and I think we do. We're just not making those plays. So we got to find a different way to try to teach those, you know, that awareness, to try to help them execute better in those situations. And we'll just keep you know applying pressure to those guys to get it right. They want to get it right. That I know. But yeah, I mean, as far as, you know, we're always looking for better ways to help this team execute and have success. We'll continue to do that.
Brian, on the network.
Dolphins fans, head coach Brian Flores beginning to sound like a broken record. It's almost the same speech each and every week. This team has now lost 6 games in a row. We're going to talk about him, and we've got much more coming up here on 7 on the Sidelines. We have to take a quick commercial break. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to 7 on the Sidelines here with Drew Rosenhaus. Sure, we finally made it to the sidelines, first and foremost. Dolphins fans, very upset. But what is Stephen Ross thinking right now?
Well, Ross is, he's 80-something years old. He's done all this to the stadium. He's not going to be very happy. 6 losses in a row, basically matching the same number of losses they had all last season. I can't speak for him, but certainly at his age, he's not going to be very patient. This is an extremely disappointing season. And this team is probably the most disappointing team in the NFL right now.
Playoffs realistically out of the question, and the fans want answers from Chris Greer and Brian Flores. Do you see them finishing out the season?
Yes, I do. I do think that they will hang in there and finish the season. And I also think as long as the team continues to play hard, and depending upon what moves get done, like a Deshaun Watson, I don't believe they'll pull the plug on Greer and Flores. I think what they did last year will earn them a pass no matter how the rest of the season goes. So unfortunately, Dolphin fans, if you want to see a change, I don't think it's going to happen after this season. I think they will get another year at least.
I've got to ask, because you have a lot of clients in this locker room, Jerome Baker, Emmanuel Ogbah. What are they saying about this team and playing for the rest of the season?
Well, I've talked about this over the years. Players have to throw the record out because they are playing for their families and their livelihood. So whether they're winning or losing, they have to go out and play great or they will lose their job and get replaced. These are guys that are fighting for their contracts, whether it's a new one or to keep it. So I can assure you Emmanuel Ogbah is going to compete. He's in the last year of his deal. I can assure you a guy like a Landon Roberts is going to fight. He's in the last year of his contract. Jerome Baker, very prideful guy. God willing, he's healthy. He's going to compete. So Myles Gaskin, he's a young player. He wants to prove he's the best running back on this team. Yep. Fans don't have to worry about this team quitting because these players, they need to perform well for their own futures.
Another player is Mike Gesicki in the final year of his deal. 7 catches, 85 yards, a touchdown. He's now just stepping to the podium. Let's listen in live.
Totally unraveled then, but he brought you guys back. What was he like as this was?
Yeah, he's the same guy. He never gets too high, never gets too low. He's confident. He knows what he's supposed to do. He goes out there, he executes at a high level. And you know, I can't say enough good things about him. Love playing with him. Love having him back there. And you know, bounced back great, played a hell of a game, played tough. You can go on and on. So.
What's the background you had on the 3rd and 15 play that helped set up the go-ahead touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, they just play that deep zone coverage. You got to read your guy who's covering the zone where you're running to. My guy kind of jumped outside. I jumped in, gave 2 in my hands. He put a great ball on me, got it, knifed, and jumped forward, got a first down. That's pretty much it.
How much you watch fellow tight ends around the league? And if you do, I'm sure the guy on Atlanta is one you watch. What makes him what he is right now?
Yeah, I mean, during the season, I don't really watch a lot of other guys unless watching film for the opponent. But I mean that dude's play speaks for itself. I think he's in his 6th or 7th game, and he's out there making plays like he is. So, you got to tip your hat to him. He knows how good he can be, and you can't say enough good things about him either.
You can just feel the body language there, everyone, from Mike Gesicki. These players are down, and it's a tough divisional game next week against the Bills. We're going to talk about that coming up. Stay with us here on 7 on the Sidelines. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 7 on the Sidelines. Unfortunately, Dolphins fans, it is now 6 losses in a row. However, a bright spot, wide receiver Isaiah Ford catching his first touchdown pass as a pro. Our Mike DePasquale just speaking to him moments ago.
We're with Dolphins receiver Isaiah Ford. And Isaiah, before I talk about your big day today, which was momentous for you, just about how this team did battle after that second half and into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, and I think that's a reflection of who our head coach is. He's a guy that he's going to go to war, he's going to fight for us, and we all care for him, so we pour that out on the field. Margin for error in this league is slim, and he's told us that a bunch of times, and we're kind of figuring that out the hard way right now. Just got to clean some of those things up.
I want to talk about your moment in the 1st quarter, your first NFL career touchdown. Just how big was that for you from the standpoint of, since the Dolphins drafted you, you were up and down on the practice squad, back on the team, traded, brought back. Just how big of a moment was that for you and something you've been waiting for?
Yeah, man, I've been waiting a really long time to feel how I felt earlier in the game, and it's kind of hard to put into words, to be honest. I just been through so much mentally, just trying to control the things that I can, believe in myself, have the confidence in myself, and to keep going forward. And this is the best I've felt mentally, and I just wanted to make the most of every opportunity that I had. So.
Was it a long
communication with me and Durham, and I take full responsibility for them.
How do you judge your day? You had 4 touchdown passes, some big plays, some both ways, really.
Yeah, I think the margin for error is slim in this league. That's kind of what Flo's been telling us this entire week. And, I think we had many opportunities, to get good drives going. We just didn't make use of those opportunities, that the defense gave us.
And what was the week like for you? Obviously, there's a lot swirling around out there.
Yeah, it was a normal week for me. I approach this game the same way I approach any other game, so.
About trade rumors, that doesn't necessarily seem like a normal week, even though it's kind of been consistent all season.
Yeah, I would say it still is a normal week. The only thing is, I really respect and appreciate his transparency, with where he's at with that. But, within our conversations, I like to keep those private too, so.
Challenging, tough to block that out?
Not necessarily. Kind of how I answered Omar's question. I respect, what Flo does, and, he's transparent. He sits me down, he tells me what's going on. He has, conversations with Greer, and he kind of keeps me in the loop with all of those things. But, yeah, that's, I hear it, but I'm not really focused on that, so.
There also was a challenging moment in the game when you guys got the takeaway, then you had the interception where you yourself and the team could have gotten down, and yet you didn't. You brought them back and had the lead. How challenging was it to go through that period, and how were you able to bring the team back?
I think it's challenging, for any team to be down by 2 touchdowns and, having to rally the troops to go back out there and, continue to fight their butts off and continue to play. We had a lot of time in the fourth quarter. Obviously, that second interception wasn't what we wanted off of an interception that the defense gave us. But I think that's just, the testament to the kind of guys we have in the locker room. Grit, fight, and finish. So.
There were several key scrambles today. One late in the game where you actually broke a tackle and gained the first down. If you recall that run, I'm wondering what was going through your mind on that particular play.
I was just trying to get a first down on that. We had Albert Wilson also open on that play. I couldn't see him, so I tried to maneuver my way throughout the pocket. I think the O-line did a really good job today. And I was able to step up, make some plays with my feet, and also make some plays, on the run, throwing the ball too. So.
You guys last season had a lot of magic mojo, ability to finish games. This season, that just has not been the case. How do you get back to that?
Well, I think, what we got to do is continue to work. I don't see any other way that you look at that. I don't think there's a secret recipe for, wins. It's just the margin for error is slim, and my 2 turnovers, the amount of penalties that we've had in this game, that just doesn't do it. So we just got to continue to work on those things and, move on from that.
So how would you gauge your progression, your growth since coming to the NFL, and what do you feel like you still need to work on to improve and have success?
Well, being a second-year, player, like I've said before, I wish I knew the things I knew when I was a rookie. And, my second year, I know a lot more, but I'm continuing to learn. And, this is just an opportunity for us to come in tomorrow to work and, learn from the mistakes that we made today.
We're back out live, and Drew, Tua keeps admitting to making mistakes, but the problem is he keeps making them. Why haven't he been able to change it and do the right thing?
The turnovers have been really frustrating. Every time he makes a nice play, a nice pass, a big completion, which he's done, he has been marred by careless turnovers. That's the story of his career so far with the Dolphins. Inconsistency, the inability to stay on the field, and the inability to avoid mistakes. It's unfortunate because the young man has talent.
This is why we have him on the show, everybody. We got to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We continue to hear more on this Dolphins loss to the Falcons. Xavier Howard just stepping to the podium. He had 10 interceptions last year, had 1 today, but it's not enough for a win. Let's listen in.
Kyle Pitts to hold on to, and that long pass, you guys, you both there, were right there in coverage.
It was a great play, great throw. Initially, guys make great plays on the ball. Let's try to make a play on the ball. Obviously, he got the ball, so,
How did you feel being back out there physically?
I feel great, just being out there with the team and really just trying to get a dub, really.
From a 1-6 perspective, obviously this is not where you expected to be. What is your opinion on why the team is in this position at 1-6?
I feel like we just got to keep getting better. We just can't be shooting ourselves in the foot. When we got to score. We got to get the quarterback off the field. We got to make stops, and we got to create turnovers a lot on defense. It's both sides. All 3 phases. We got to make plays out there. That's really it.
Mike just said the morale is still high. Do you agree with that assessment? And many teams could be, broken at this point, losing 6 straight. Why is the morale still high? If you do agree with that.
We just got to stick together, man. It's football. Each week, it's hard to it's hard to win in the NFL. So you got to stay strong and stick together.
Is it particularly deflating after you force a turnover to then very next play, offense gives the ball back and defense has to come right back out on the field?
Like I said, we got to make plays out there. We got to execute, and I feel like it all worked 3 phases. We all got to make plays out there. So
there's 10 regular season games left. How would you describe what the source of motivation, should be and can be for the team?
Like I said, we just got to stick together. Each week we're expecting to win, so we're not trying to lose. But like I said, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. So each week we got to prepare, and get ready for the next opponent.
This team, as Xavier said, needing to find a way to stick together. We're going to talk about the upcoming game, that is the Bills. On the other side of the commercial break, Drew Rosenhaus rejoins us. Hope you'll stay with us. See you in a couple minutes.
This season's winning team, Hondas, are made here and save you thousands. With 0%, it's a win-win. Honda, the most American-made automaker. Save now with 0%. Search your local Honda dealer today.
With programs that offer a fast track to graduation, vast industry and alumni connections, and affordable tuition, NSU Sharks will always have the edge. NSU Florida, prepare to dominate.
This is Service for a Cure. For each service call we run in the month of October, Lindstrom will donate a portion of the proceeds to the Komen Foundation as they continue to raise money in the fight to eradicate this awful disease.
At Lindstrom Air, we take this cause and your comfort seriously.
Turn to the experts at Lindstrom & Carrier and get a free AC or plumbing service call. Plus, during October, we'll donate a portion of the proceeds to the Komen Foundation. That's comfort for a cure.
Those guys. Reach for a bundle of your McDonald's favorites every day, like a sizzling sausage McMuffin and hash browns in the morning for $2.39, or a crispy 6-piece chicken McNuggets and small fries for $3.39 when you get hungry later. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you want a new Volkswagen, then you gotta get to Gunther, where you can buy or lease with confidence knowing that you get more with Gunther Plus. That's our guaranteed lowest price, with no worry maintenance included with any new Volkswagen from Gunther. And enjoy a personalized experience that you can start online and finish in store. Get your new Volkswagen with Gunther Plus today.
Get your new Volkswagen today from America's largest volume Volkswagen dealer.
In Fort Lauderdale, Coconut Creek, Delray, and Daytona Beach.
With our buying done your way, you gotta get to Gunther.
American-made Hondas with 0% financing. It's a win-win. Over 28 million Hondas were made here. Now, save thousands with 0% financing. Honda, the most American-made automaker on the field. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Welcome back out live, everybody. We've got Drew working all of the time. This is what he does with his clients, but he also does a great job at staying in shape. And for everybody at home, we've got to show you this. You've been doing karate since you were a kid,
That's right.
And it looks like you could step out on this field. We got to get you some shoulder pads.
Forget that. Bricks don't hit back. Football players do. But what I can say is my daughter loves the movie The Karate Kid. For her Halloween birthday party, she asked me to break bricks, which I've done before on the station. And I did it. And they were real, and it hurt. My hand is cut up and bruised
We
right
can see
now.
it.
I don't know. You can see it, but it was worth it to get that smile. I also want to thank Ricky Doe. He's my karate instructor, Young Sudo's son, who helped me with everything, has been my instructor and friend. He helped out. Got to give him some props.
I got to ask for your daughter, is that original Karate Kid or is the one with Will Smith's kid in the remake?
She likes the original.
Oh, good.
With
See?
Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, there we
She
go.
loves it. I told her, back in the day, I was the original Karate Kid as a little man, so
We're
I
gonna
had a
keep
good
that.
time with it.
We've got a couple seconds left. We want to talk about the Bills. They're
Yes.
really the top of the division here. Do you see the Dolphins have realistically any chance of competing in this game on the road?
Yeah, I do, because they are completely going to be loose. They have nothing to lose. They're going to be big underdogs, probably 2 touchdowns plus, and they're just let it hang out. They got beat here by them pretty badly. I think they're going to be loose. I think they'll be carefree. I think they'll let it go. They'll be aggressive. I do think they have a shot.
Drew, really quickly, a score prediction, 2 touchdown favorites. We need something. We got a little bit of time left. I see the smile.
So I am going to say that the Bills pull it out, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be 21-17 Buffalo, but I think the Dolphins will play well next week.
Defensive game right there. That is all the time we have on 7 on the Sidelines. He's the amazing Drew Rosenhaus.
Good job, Josh.
Don't forget, we've got extra tonight at 11:30. We'll see you then. Dolphins fans, hang in there. We'll see you tonight.
Fast Wi-Fi. It really does make everything better. So at Xfinity, we're not stopping at fast.
Come on. Pick that up. Right there, right there.
We're breaking the gig barrier with the fastest Wi-Fi you can get. Because we know your Wi-Fi is powering more devices than ever before.